Hi guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing my ARCs TBR. For those of you that watched my 2018 goals, you'll know that one of my goals was to read the ARCs that I had been sent that I just hadn't got around to yet and review them for you on my channel. So I am a very prolific enterer of Goodreads giveaways, and a lot of these I've won through giveaways on Goodreads but also on Twitter as well, and then there's one on this list that I was sent by the author. So a lot of them I've had for quite a few months now and I just haven't got around to reading them. I always think that if it's an ARC that the publisher is sending you, even if you win it in a giveaway, then really if I have a platform like this, then I should really be reading those and reviewing them for you. So I've got a pile of books next to me here. I'm going to talk you through all the ones that I've got on my list and give you a brief synopsis and kind of let you guys know what I plan on getting around to in 2018. The first one on my list I am currently reading, and that is Denison Greer, and this is edited by Molly Gould. And this is the book that I was sent by the author. This, I believe, is a compilation of letters that she found between, I think, her grandmother and, I don't think it was her grandfather, I think it may have been some other man that she was in love with, and they're writing to each other with the backdrop of the Vietnam War, and it's sort of about their love story. I've only read about 25 pages of it. I've been quite busy with other books, so I haven't had a chance to get into it, but there's that one. The second one on my list I have actually already read, and that is The Childfinder, and this is by Rene Denfeld. This is a sort of mystery thriller which tells the story of Naomi, and she is known in America or locally as the Childfinder, and a family of a little girl, a little 5-year-old girl who went missing 3 years ago, enlists her help to look for her. And this is what Naomi does, but it also, the case kind of throws up some things about her own past that she's sort of spent a lot of years trying to repress, shall we say. So like I said, I have already read this, and I'm going to be putting a review of this up on my channel in the next couple of days, so definitely look out for that one. Next up on my list I have got Shelter, and this is by Sarah Franklin, and this is Sarah Franklin's debut novel. This is set during World War II, and it is about a woman who has escaped London, I think, or it says her city of birth, to go and live in the Forest of Dean. And it's also about a man who is an Italian prisoner of war, and the two of them meet and they're trying to kind of forget perhaps about some of the things that have happened to them during World War II, and it's about them coming together, and of course against the backdrop of these terrible things that happening during the Second World War. So when I was sent this, I was really interested by the storyline, and I think, I mean, this is the ARC copy, but this is a really, really beautiful ARC copy, so yeah, there's that one. Next up on my list I have got The Hiding Places, and this is by Katherine Webb, and I'll just read you the little blurb that's on the back. It says, "A murder, a man accused, and 2 women with everything to lose. The Hiding Places is the story of a peaceful village in turmoil, friendship against all odds, and most importantly it's about uncovering the truth when you don't know who to trust." So I think it's going to be sort of like a middle of nowhere sort of village mystery, but maybe a little bit more than that. I've never read anything by this author before, but it sounds like it'll be a fun story. The next book that I've got on my list is The Honeymoon, and this is by Tina Seskis. This isn't an uncorrected proof, this is the final copy of it, but I thought I would include it on this list anyway because it is one that I won in a Goodreads giveaway. And this is, I think, about a husband and wife who go on a honeymoon, and then whilst on honeymoon the husband disappears. And obviously the wife doesn't know where she's gone. They've only been married a week, and he's disappeared from the island. So I think maybe it's about sort of uncovering things about him that perhaps she didn't know. Yeah, and that sounds really intriguing, just because obviously honeymoons are supposed to be this really incredible, exciting time. You're at the start of a new life and things like that. But this, and you can see from the cover, this kind of portrays it to be a really dark time. So yeah, sounds like be a good thriller. The next book I've got on my list is The House at Bishopsgate, and this is by Katie Hickman, and this is, I believe, about a big house in 1611 and the family that live there and the things that go on. I was quite intrigued to read this. When I was putting this list together though, I had a look at this on Goodreads, and this seems to be the third book in a series. And I don't know whether you have to read the other two in order to kind of understand what's going on. It doesn't make it clear on the back either, because it says here, Katie Hickman is the author of 2 best-selling history books and the widely acclaimed novels The Avery Gate and The Pinder Diamond. But it doesn't actually say on here that this is the third in that series. So I'd be interested to see, have any of you guys read the first 2, so the 2 that I mentioned, The Avery Gate and The Pinder Diamond? Do I need to read those before I read this one? Because if that's the case, I might end up unhauling this, only because I kind of looked the other 2 up on Amazon and I'm kind of interested in them, but I don't just want to buy books for the sake of it. So I could look to see if I've got them at my library. I don't know, let me know guys whether you think it's actually worth doing that. Next up on my list I have Over the Line, and this is by Steve Howell. What drew me to this is that it's set against the backdrop of the, what have we got? Rio Olympics, that's it. And it centres around a main character who is a favourite to win gold in the 100-metre hurdles. She's only 21 and she's already a millionaire celebrity, popular with fans and sponsors. But then I believe her childhood friend Matt, who she used to go to school with, ends up dead, and the police want to interview her about it. And I think it's going to be sort of about her trying to cope with her new celebrity status and being under suspicion and all of that kind of stuff. It mentions a little bit about drugs tests on the back. So that kind of premise intrigued me because obviously that's quite a relevant thing. But I don't know, I've never read anything by this author, but I don't think I've heard of this author before. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Then I've got here Swimming Lessons, and this is by Claire Fuller. I recently bought her first novel, which is called Our Endless Numbered Days, and I'm sort of tempted to read that first before I dive into this one, which is her second book. And this is, I believe, about a man and a woman, and the woman, or the wife, she has been missing for a while. It says here presumed drowned for 12 years. And then there's a sighting of her, or a sort of believed sighting of her, that kind of brings it all back to the forefront again for the family. And I believe the husband starts to find these letters hidden beneath the pages of books on their bookshelf that are from her, I think. And it says, you know, will they hold the answers to the truth behind his marriage? So that sounds really, really interesting. Next up I have a sci-fi, what appears to be a sci-fi novel, and this is Lament for the Fallen by Gavin Chait. And I'll read you what it says on the back. Something has fallen from the stars and crashed into the jungle near an isolated West African community. The villagers discover a ruined vessel and inside the shattered body of a man. But this is a man unlike any they've seen before. He speaks with terror of a place named Tartarus, a place where hope doesn't exist. To go there is to face death one way or another. And now, with the villagers' help, he intends to go back to destroy Tartarus. I think that sounds really interesting. I like the fact that you've got that sort of West African village setting, and that kind of gives it a bit of a different vibe. Yeah, and I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but definitely willing to give that one a go. The next book I have on my list is a bit of a chunker, and it is Nevernight, and this is by J. Christoph. And this is, I believe, sort of like at the start of an epic fantasy series. So the second book is already out, and then the third book, I don't know whether they've put a release date on that yet. But this is about a little girl called Mia, and when she's 10 years old she's given her first lesson in death. And then it says 6 years later, the child raised in shadows takes her first steps towards keeping the promise she made on the day that she lost everything. Yeah, my husband has read this and he said it was very, very good. And as you know, he's a lover of epic fantasy. I don't read a lot of epic fantasy and I am a little bit intimidated by the size. I mean, the font is quite big. but still a little bit intimidated by the size. But because my husband loves it, I'm willing to give it a go, and perhaps pick up the second book at some point. And the last two books that I have on my list aren't ARCs either. They are books that I won in a Twitter giveaway. And Vic James was running the giveaway, and she's the author of The Gilded Cage. And she was giving these away because the third book in the series was coming out pretty quickly, and she was sort of helping her fellow author friend, I suppose, promote her books. So these are Starborn and Heartland, and these are by Lucy Halsam. I can't remember what the series name for these are. These seem to be fantasy books, and so the first one seems to be about a girl called Kindra, I think that's how you say it, and when she comes of age she accidentally destroys her village's most sacred tradition. And it's about her discovering whether she possesses magic and what she's going to do with that, and kind of, I suppose, the fallout of her destroying a sacred tradition. And I don't really know much about them other than that. The covers look pretty cool, and I've not really heard anything about the series either. I've heard nobody on BookTube talk about them, so, but yeah, we'll give those ones a go. So there you go guys, they were all of the books on my ARCs TBR. I've got 12 on my list, one of which I've already read and another one which I'm in the middle of reading. So I think maybe if I try and do one a month or something along those kinds of lines, I can get through those by the end of the year. I kind of want to get to a situation where if I'm receiving any ARCs from publishers, or if I win them in Goodreads giveaways, then I'd quite like to read them quite quickly and review them on my channel for you. So I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Are there any books on this list that you would like to see me read more quickly than others, perhaps because you want to chat about them, or you'd like me to do a review a bit more quickly on my channel? Or have you read any of these and what did you think of them? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.